set by the Oakland A's 15 years ago. No team in the history of the American League has ever won 21 in a row, and that's one of the items at stake for the Indians today. Of course, they're also trying to nail down the American League's Central Division title. It certainly seems like a foregone conclusion, but it never is until it is a reality. And the Indians right now have a magic number of 5. Anytime they win, they reduce their magic number, and anytime the Minnesota Twins lose, it also reduces the Indians' magic number. The Tribe now 89-56 with a 13.5 game lead over the Twins. The Tigers have dropped 4 in a row in 10 out of 12. The Tigers now 60-84, 28.5 games in back of the Tribe. Quinn Walcott will be calling the balls and strikes. Brian Honora will umpire at first. Paul Emmel is the crew chief and second base ump, and Scott Berry will umpire at third. It is a pretty much windless day. The flags are hanging limp out on the plaza area beyond the bullpens in right center field. Just a beautiful day for baseball as Mike Clevenger has the baseball for the Indians. The young right-hander, fastball, curve, slider, and changeup. He'll try to continue his domination of the Tigers here in 2017 as the right-handed hitting Ian Kinsler steps in, the veteran second baseman for the Tigers. Clevenger works first base side of the rubber. His windup and his first pitch today is in there, called strike, and we're underway at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario.
Game time temperature 76 degrees.
76 degrees, the game time temp. The next offering, banged foul outside of third. And quickly it's an 0-2 count on Ian Kinsler, who's had a tough time against Indians pitching this year, batting 169 against the Tribe this year with 1 RBI. Now the wind and 2-strike pitch. Just a bit outside. It was close, 1-2. Clevenger has faced the Tigers 3 times this year and dominated them 3 times this year. The right-hander rocks and delivers, and Kinsler swings and miss. Well, he got that ball in on his hands, and Clevenger strikes out Kinsler to start today's ball game. Ian Kinsler, in 3 starts against the Tigers this year, has gone 18 innings and has given up 1 run and allowed 8 hits. And in those 3 starts against the Tigers, Mike Clevenger has struck out 17 in 18 innings. Here's the left-handed hitting left fielder, Alex Presley. The wind, the pitch, and he swings and sends a soft liner into left center, base hit. Presley is 4 for 8 in this series, and he's one guy the Indians haven't figured out. He's batting .429 against Tribe pitching this year, this being the final meeting of the season between the Tribe and the Tigers. The Indians have dominated the season series for the 2nd year in a row. The Indians 12-6 against Detroit after going 14-4 against the Tigers last year. Here's Miguel Cabrera, 0 for his last 10. He's DHing today. The right-handed hitting Tiger. No score, first inning, 1 out, 1 on. Clevenger sets, Clevenger fires. Cabrera, he takes, it's in there, a curveball strike. Lonnie Chisenhall in left, Tyler Naquin patrols center, and Jay Bruce in right. Carlos Santana at first, Jose Ramirez at second, Francisco Lindor at short. Yandy Diaz at third, and the catcher Roberto Perez. The Indians rank number 1 in the American League in defense. Now the 0-1 pitch. Up and in, and it glanced off the bat of Cabrera and drilled Roberto Perez. I'm assuming it glanced off the bat of Cabrera because he backed away and Perez got smoked. And now Perez walking out toward the pitcher's mound. And Perez shaken up in an 0-2 count on Miguel Cabrera. Well, the Indians, for the last 2 years, one of the ways that you try to keep Miguel Cabrera in check, you must keep him honest. He doesn't like the ball in. He wants the ball middle to middle away so he can drive the ball. He might be as good an opposite field hitter with power as any player in the game. And the Indians have done a good job of trying to tie him up inside. And he doesn't especially like it either. Now the 0-2 pitch. Up high, a fastball, 1-2. Cabrera batting .246, 15 homers, 59 RBIs, his worst season in the big leagues. And the Tigers have him under contract for 6 more years at basically $29 million a year. Now the set by Clevenger, outfield deep, the pitch, and he missed down and in, went with the off speed again, and the count 2-2. Well, as bad a year as Miguel Cabrera has had, there's still no pitcher in baseball that doesn't have the utmost respect for this guy. And appropriately, the Indians' Corey Kluber got him to ground out to third last night to end a thrilling ballgame in a 2-0 Tribe win. The set and the 2-2 pitch, a swing and a high fly ball, shallow right, near the line, long run. Jay Bruce gives way to Jose Ramirez in foul territory, who makes the over-the-shoulder catch in front of Jay Bruce. Jose Ramirez, he looked like an NFL punt returner racing back on an 80-yard booming punt with his back to the kicker right in front of the goal line, making an over-the-shoulder catch. And another terrific play by Jose Ramirez, as Jay Bruce is like, well, why did I run this far if he's going to cover the entire right side of the infield and outfield? Jose Ramirez, terrific play. Cabrera's out number 2. Here is Nick Castellanos. So Cabrera fouls out, still a runner at first, 2 down, no score. Castellanos swings and fouls it upstairs, strike 1. Castellanos, he'll be a right fielder in the future. He'd been the Tigers' third baseman for the last several years. But the Tigers just don't feel he's good enough defensively to stay there. They've moved him to right. And he's been hitting despite the positional change. He has a 9-game hitting streak coming into this one, batting .412 during that hot spell. Right-hander against right-hander. The pitch to Castellanos, and it's swung on, foul back. And again, Clevenger doing a good job keeping the ball in on the hands of these powerful Tiger hitters like Castellanos, like Cabrera. Fans, you should see the plaza between here and the arena. Jam-packed with people still trying to get in through the wrought iron gates leading to the home run porch. Tribe and Tigers, first inning. No score, runner at first, 2 down and an 0-2 count on Castellanos. Hitting .262, 21 bombs, 85 RBIs. He's had a heck of a year. Clevenger fires to first, and back with a dive is Presley. Indians baseball brought to you by Cleveland Clinic Express Care Online. Download the app today for 24/7 virtual visits. Again, the Indians are deep in the outfield. They play Castellanos the other way, toward right. Now the set. Now the 0-2 pitch from Clevenger. Down and in. He missed with a changeup, 1-2. Mike Clevenger, you talk about this Indians club being on a roll. Well, it always starts with starting pitching, but it's more than just Corey Kluber. How about Mike Clevenger? He's made 3 consecutive starts in which he's worked 6 shutout innings. He hasn't given up a run since August 21st. Now the 1-2 pitch. Down and in off the glove of Perez. Presley did not read that at all. He should be at second. That ball kicked at least 25 feet behind and to the left of Perez. That was simply going to be a passed ball, and Presley wasn't alert at first at all. That's the difference. For instance, last night, Carlos Santana scoring on a wild pitch from third on a ball that didn't go half as far away from home plate as that last pitch did. Presley should be at second base, but he doesn't anticipate, and so he's still planted there. Now the 2-2 pitch to Castellanos. A swing and a ground ball toward third, foul. And the count stays 2-2. So Mike Clevenger went 6 shutout innings against Kansas City on August 26th. Then in Motown on September 1st in the day-night doubleheader, he went 6 shutout innings. And his last start 5 days ago against Baltimore, 6 shutout innings. So in his last 3 starts, 18 scoreless innings. And he has only given up 10 hits in those 18 scoreless innings. Now the 2-2 pitch to Castellanos. Swung on, grounded foul toward third, but it was off the foot of Castellanos, who's limping around the home plate area. Castellanos having a good at bat, but a painful one. 2-2 the count, 1 out, runner at first, no score. Mike Clevenger's season numbers: 9 wins, 5 losses, earned run average 330. This is his 20th start. He's worked 3 times out of the bullpen. And as a starter, he's averaging just a tick under 6 innings per start. He averages 10 strikeouts per 9 innings, but he also averages 5 walks per 9 innings. That's the number he's continuing to work at and has been better at it. Not walking as many. The 2-2 just off the outer edge. Oh, the Indians thought the inning was over. Instead, it's a full count on Castellanos. And so the runner at first, Presley, will be moving on this pitch. The Indians trying to shake it up on the Indians today. The Tigers, that is the Indians have scored first in 19 of the 20 games they have won here in a row. Tigers trying to get on the board in inning number 1. Runner will be moving. The payoff pitch to Castellanos. Downstairs and a little wide. It's a walk. Good at bat for Nick Castellanos. So Presley goes to second. Castellanos advances to first. And that'll bring up the youngster, Jeimer Candelario, the switch-hitting third baseman. He'll bat left-handed. This is the area that the Indians still work on with Mike Clevenger. He's got terrific stuff, but he must trust that stuff. And that was a case where Castellanos was able to work an 8-pitch walk, even though Clevenger got ahead in the count. Sometimes even when he's ahead in the count, Clevenger tries to make the perfect pitch, and that gets him in trouble with command. 2 out, 2 on, no score. That curve down and in, ball 1. The key for Clevenger: pound the strike zone. Get ahead in the count. Don't try to be perfect. Trust your stuff. And it's something every young pitcher usually has to go through, that learning curve. Now the set, the look back and the pitch, and there's a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Candelario is hitting .351 with a couple of RBIs for the Tigers. He was the key piece in that trade with the Chicago Cubs, involving the Tigers closer, Justin Wilson, and the Tiger catcher, Alex Avila, the son of the GM, Al Avila. The pitch. Swung on, yanked, foul down the right field line, out of play. A hanging curveball, and Clevenger got away with it. 1-2 the count on Candelario. Candelario spent some time in the big league level this year with the Cubs, primarily at AAA, where he did have 15 homers and knocked in 71. And he's going to get a chance now in this total rebuild by the Tigers to be an everyday player, not only this year but next year as well. 2 out, 2 on, no score, first inning. Clevenger checks second. The pitch. Outside, he missed with it, fastball, and a 2-2 count. So a lot of counts that are deep counts, and because of that, Clevenger's made 22 pitches, and the inning's not over. He works on the extreme first base side of the rubber, now steps off, wants to run through the signs again with catcher Roberto Perez. The Indians catchers, Roberto Perez and Yan Gomes, have been just tremendous all year. And they both have gotten hot offensively here at the same time. Now the set by Clevenger. A look at second. The pitch. Swung on line toward left center. On the run, going back, Chisenhall. It's over his head. It'll hit dirt, go to the wall. And in to score is Presley. Castellanos will stop at third, and in with an RBI double to left center is Jeimer Candelario. And so the Tigers are able to strike early, and they lead the Indians 1-0, and they've got a chance to finally have a big inning. And for the Tigers, it's their first run in this series. Detroit had been shut out in back-to-back games and had only collected 14 hits in the first two games. But a rough start here for Mike Clevenger. He got 2 outs with a runner on. Then he walked Nick Castellanos, and then Jeimer Candelario with an RBI double to left center. His 5th double as a Tiger, his 3rd Tiger RBI. And now the Tigers looking for the big inning. 2 down, runners second and third for catcher James McCann, the right-handed hitter. And the pitch to him is in there, a strike on the outer edge. McCann in disbelief looking at home plate ump Quinn Walcott. McCann, a .261 hitter, 13 long balls. He's knocked in 43. Well, you got to believe there's some butterflies today for Mike Clevenger. He knows what's at stake. This entire club knows what's at stake. The 0-1. It's in there, a strike. McCann. He is not exactly on the same page with the home plate ump, but he also knows he better be careful because he's going to want those same pitches called strikes when he's squatting and Buck Farmer's on the hill. That's the tough life a catcher lives. Now the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He chased the curve in the dirt in the other batter's box. Buck Farmer says that at bat goes on Quinn Walcott's bubblegum card. The Indians, a rare time.
Time to schedule your free in-home estimate.
And you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, I'm Mike Trevisano for K-Guard. Throw that ladder away and never clean a gutter again. K-Guard comes with a lifetime no-clog warranty. Call them, 216-777-1100, or just go to their website to make an appointment, kguardohio.com.
Well, the Indians will face a guy they're a little bit familiar with, as Buck Farmer takes the baseball, and we go to the bottom of the first inning. And a rarity for the Indians, they come to the plate trailing. It's a 1-0 ball game. Buck Farmer to Frankie Lindor, and a first pitch strike. Buck Farmer, 26 years of age. He's a big guy out of Georgia Tech, 6'4", 225. He was a star for the outstanding coach at Georgia Tech, Danny Hall. That pitch down and in, check swing and a breaking ball, and the count of 1-1. It has not translated on the big league level yet for Buck Farmer, a 5th-round pick by Detroit 4 years ago. Farmer into the windup and the pitch. And it's swung on, shot to first, fair ball by the diving Romine. Down the right field line, headed toward the corner. Lindor has double number 37, and the tying run is quickly in scoring position. Francisco Lindor. Wow! He is making a pretty darn good late push for American League Most Valuable Player honors. Francisco Lindor, in this 20-game hit streak, or the 20-game winning streak, he doesn't have a 20-game hit streak, but he might as well. He is batting .364 with 9 homers and 19 RBIs during the Indians' 20-game winning streak. And he just opened up the bottom of the first with a double. Buck Farmer now wants to talk to his catcher, James McCann. Buck Farmer is a 4-pitch mix, fastball, curve, slider, changeup. 26 years of age, 6'4", 225. He sure looks the part, but it hasn't come for him the way the Tigers had hoped. The Indians beat him up 12 days ago in Detroit in a day-night doubleheader. He gave up 5 runs in 3 innings of work. Here's Lonnie Chisenhall. He shows bunt, takes a strike. Chisenhall, the left-handed hitting left fielder, hasn't swung the bat like he did the first half of the year, and that calf injury sidelined him for so much of this second half, and he's still not locked in like he was prior to the All-Star break. Left-handed hitting left fielder. The set by Farmer, the look at second. The pitch, a swing and a miss. He chased a fastball away, and he's quickly in the hole, 0-2. Buck Farmer has faced the Indians 5 times in his career before today. He's 0-3 with a lifetime ERA of 8.50. But he works now with a 1-0 lead. Nobody out, runner at second, first inning. Farmer checks Lindor. The pitch. Way outside, ball 1, 1-2. Buck Farmer spent most of this year with the Toledo Mud Hens, and in AAA had a record of 6-4, a 3.93 ERA, made 21 starts for the Mud Hens. It's been a rough go, though, with the Tigers. They're using him as a starter. They've used him in the past when they've brought him up, both as a starter and a reliever. This year, he's strictly starting. Now the look back at second, the pitch. Down and in, a curveball. Nice sliding stop to his right by James McCann, 2-2. Tigers have Alex Presley in left, Jacoby Jones in center, Nick Castellanos in right. Andrew Romine at first, Ian Kinsler at second. Jose Iglesias, who's back after having a baby, he and his wife is back playing short. Chamber Candelario at third, and the catcher, James McCann. Now the 2-2 pitch. Check swing on a curveball. He went around. Pitch was in the dirt. Nice block by McCann. He picks the ball up, kept it near him, tags out Chisenhall, and that runner has to stay at second base. 1 down. Here's Jose Ramirez. I know it's the first inning, but you wonder if the Tigers will just say, go to first base. He has destroyed the Tigers in 2017. Jose Ramirez against the Tigers is batting .483 with 9 home runs and 25 RBIs. That's against one team in 1 year. Switch hitting second baseman, batting left-handed. The pitch, and it nailed the outside corner. Perfect pitch on a fastball for strike 1. The thing about those numbers, I mean, these teams obviously play each other 19 times, so Jose Ramirez is batting .483 against the Tigers in 60 at-bats. Couple of looks at second. Farmer's pitch. Check swing foul, and it hit him in the foot. Now did he go around? Going to third is Lindor, and now the appeal and time called. Let's see what the call is. Ramirez is saying he got hit in the foot, and he did. And now Buck Farmer is looking in, and Brad Ausmus, the Tiger manager, is coming out of the dugout. What is going on? Ramirez took off his shin protector, and we may have an early review. That ball was not fouled off. It was a check swing by Ramirez. Tito Francona's coming out. Lindor's now at third base. Ramirez is still at home plate, and we're waiting for the call. Evidently, the Tigers must have appealed to the base ump who said Ramirez went around because the count is 0-2. Well, beg your pardon. Now they're saying it's a foul ball because Lindor's back at second. All righty. You didn't think winning 21 in a row would be routine, did you, folks? Runner back at second, and 0-2 count. 1 out first inning. Tigers up 1-0. Change up away, and it misses, and the count now goes to 1-2. Well, Jose Ramirez, he, like Frankie Lindor, is certainly an American League MVP candidate. The little dynamo who has split his year between third and second. The pitch, just a bit wide. Boy, that was close. And the count evens up at 2-2. Jose Ramirez batting .309, 26 homers, 73 RBIs. Leads the league in doubles, 47. Leads the league in extra base hits. Now the set, now the pitch. Swung on, fouled back. Well, Farmer's coming at him with fastballs. His fastball, 93 miles an hour. Still a 2-2 count on Ramirez. Lindor opened the Indians first with a double. Chisenhall struck out. And now Jose Ramirez with a 2-2 count. Indians trailing the Tigers 1-0 here in inning number 1. Buck Farmer's ready. Check second, comes to the plate. A swing and a liner, foul down the right side. He got a breaking ball in on the hands of Ramirez. No way he could keep that fair, but he wanted to make sure he protected and lives for another pitch. The Indians, during this 20-game win streak, the average score has been 7-2 Indians. That's what made last night so pulsating, a 2-0 Tribe win. Now the 2-2 offering. Just a bit low and outside. It was close. Tigers wanted the call, didn't get it. And a full count now on Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez during the Indians' 20-game win streak batting .390. 8 homers, 14 RBIs. The payoff pitch. Checked on a breaking ball down and in. Appeal at third. He didn't go. What an at-bat. And Jose Ramirez is on at first with a walk. And here's the DH, Edwin Encarnacion. McCann out to the mound. Well, the Tigers, they're tired of hearing about the Indians. They've seen it up close and personal. The Indians have just beaten the bejeebers out of the Tigers here the second half of the year. The Indians have won 10 out of the last 12 meetings between these clubs this season. And the Indians got 4 wins in Detroit during this 20-game win streak, and now they're trying to sweep this 3-game series in Cleveland. Here's Edwin Encarnacion. 2 on, 1 out. Manager Brad Ausmus said, look, I don't care about the Indian streak. He said, in my mind, they're the best team in baseball. It's not about us breaking the Indian streak. It's about us finally winning a game. I just want to win a game. Farmer's ready. The pitch to Encarnacion. And it's down and away, ball 1. And Brad Ausmus has no idea if he is managing the Tigers for 2.5 more weeks and then it's adios. He's on the final year of his contract. And the Tigers obviously now in a rebuild mode. 1-0 Detroit. Indians at first and second. 1 out in the first. Farmer's pitch. And it's a little low. A lot of soft stuff to Encarnacion. And the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Encarnacion hitting .252, 34 bombs, 88 RBIs. Outfield deep and around toward left. Infield pulled to the left, no shift. Farmer's 2-0 pitch. Outside 3-0. Well, this is part of the problem. A club right now as hot as the Indians are, they're hot 1 through 9 in the batting order. There's nowhere you can go as a pitcher for relief. And if you start nibbling and pitching defensively, you're in deep trouble. Now the 3-0 pitch. In there, a strike. Encarnacion does not like swinging 3-0. He feels like he gets too big. That pitch, though, was middle in. Those are the kind guys like Encarnacion like to jump on. 3 balls and a strike. Tigers with the early 1-0 lead. Indians at first and second. The next delivery, a check swing foul at the plate. He went off speed again. And the count is full on Edwin Encarnacion. Lindor at second, Ramirez at first. 1-0 Tigers. And Encarnacion probably sitting here guessing off speed. He's really only seen the one fastball. That was 3-0. Full count now on Encarnacion with one down. Buck Farmer checks second. The runners stay. The pitch swung on and missed. He came back with a fastball, and Encarnacion swung through it. 2 down. Now, that's a case where even though Farmer got behind 3-0, he just pitched almost backwards the entire at bat to Encarnacion, and then Encarnacion looked like he was sitting off speed. If you sit off speed and you get a fastball, you're not going to be able to catch up. So Jay Bruce, the Indians' right fielder, the left-handed hitting right fielder, trying to pick the Indians up with a 2-out base hit. 2 out, 2 on. 1-0 Detroit, inning number 1. The set and the pitch, and it's a little bit low, ball 1. Last night, in the Indians' 2-0 win, the Indians were 1 for 11 with men in scoring position. So far here in inning number 1, the Indians 0 for 2 with a runner in scoring position. Bruce played as a dead pull hitter to right. The outfielders are deep. The pitch, a swing and a foul off to the left. Now, for the first time, we have a breeze blowing out toward right. Summer has reemerged in downtown Cleveland. Sun is shining, 76 degrees, and a breeze blowing out toward right. So the ball will carry today. 2 out, 2 on. Tribe batting in the first. Tigers leading 1-0. Farmer with a high hold delivers. A swing and a high drive. This is hit to deep left center field. It is on. It is gone. Hit right near the yellow line in deep left center. And dropped back on the playing field. It is ruled a 3-run home run. And the Tigers may challenge the call. Everybody waited for the umpires to give a signal. And Brad Ausmus says, check it out. Jay Bruce with a towering blast to left center that looked like it hit right near the yellow line and bounced back into play. And the umpiring crew will put the headsets on. If it stands, it is 3-1 Indians. If it is overruled, I guess they'll only give Bruce a double and 1 RBI. The thing of it is, with 2 down, the runners are going, and Ramirez would have scored easily from first if that ball had been ruled in play and was a double. But we shall wait and see what the crew in New York says to the crew here in Cleveland. Indians fans think it's 3-1 Tribe, but the only people that count are the guys in the dark tops down below with the headsets on. So the Indians trying to roar right back and take the lead here in inning number 1. And Jay Bruce, if that home run stands, it'll be his 5th with the Indians. It'll be his 34th on the year. And this is taking a while for the gang in New York to make a decision on. That 19-foot wall has that yellow stripe right at the top. And if you hit above that yellow stripe and it then bounces up and hits the railing, that's a home run. If it hits near the top of that yellow line and ricochets into the playing field without hitting the railing, that's a ball in play. So that's what is being determined right now. That is such a tough call for the guys on the field. I mean, it's almost impossible because they're so far away. Plus, that wall is 19 feet high. So we have had a lot of these kind of calls since this ballpark opened in 1994. Now you have the benefit of the replay review to try to make sure you get the call right. No matter how this call goes, somebody's going to be upset. It's either 3-1 Indians. Well, let's see. The headsets are off. Here's the call. Home run! Now the Tigers aren't happy. The Indians, Jay Bruce, has put the Tribe on top of this one by a score of 3-1. So Jay Bruce with his 34th home run. And Jay Bruce now with 93 RBIs, and Brad Ausmus is still not happy with the explanation he got. And so the crew chief and second base Paul Emmel talking it over with the Tiger manager outside the first base dugout. Oh, you talk about a pick-me-up. Jay Bruce gave it to the Indians, and it just continues during this incredible stretch the Indians have been on. It is somebody different each and every day that comes through big time. Now the Tigers go into an overshift to the right side of the infield for Carlos Santana. He'll bat left-handed. He'll take up and away, ball one. So Buck Farmer's woes against the Tribe continue. And it's 3-1 Indians. The wind and pitch. Checked on a pitch. It's a strike. And the count 1-1. Third baseman, Jamer Candelario, is actually the rover now between the first and second baseman in shallow right on the right side of the Tiger infield. The pitch off speed down low. Boy, what a year for Jay Bruce. And what an addition he has been to this Tribe ball club. 5 homers, 18 RBIs with the Indians. Now the pitch, and it's a strike on the outer edge. The 34 home runs for Jay Bruce are a new single season high. Now the pitch swung on, whack to right field, just a little bit foul. And the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jay Bruce spending most of his career in Cincinnati. And Jay Bruce with the Mets and Indians this year with a new career best. 34 home runs. Now the wind and 2-2. Just a bit outside full count. Jay Bruce has equaled his career best in homers. He had 34 with the Reds in 2012. He's matched it here today. The pitch swung on and missed. Got him with a changeup. Jay Bruce's best year RBI-wise, 2013, he had 109 with the Reds. So the Indians on the Jay Bruce 3-run homer on the Tigers. We go to the second inning. Mike Clevenger dealing, and a first pitch strike to the number 7 hitter, Andrew Romine. The switch-hitting first baseman batting left-handed. The next pitch, and Romine skies one foul. Third baseman Yandy Diaz rams into that railing by the photo bay area adjacent to the Indians' dugout, and that ball slipped a little beyond his reach into that camera well, and 2 strikes on Romine. If Yandy Diaz rams into a railing, the railing loses. Andrew Romine hitting .231, 4 homers, 21 RBIs. He fouls this one upstairs. Now let's see if Mike Clevenger now can get back to his dominant self. He's given up his first run in his last 4 starts. He had not given up a run since August 21st. He delivers. Romine fouling it back, and the count 0-2. He's given up 2 runs total to the Tigers this year in 4 starts. But he had to make a lot of pitches in that first inning, 26. 3-1 Indians. The pitch. Down and in, a ball and 2 strikes. Toyota has invested over $23 billion in the USA, helping create over 470,000 jobs, building 11 different Toyotas, including the Camry. America's best-selling car, Toyota. Let's go places. The pitch swung on a miss. Ball gets away from Perez. Third base side of the plate. He recovers, throws, and gets Romine. Boy, Perez had to scramble. That ball kicked about 10, 12 feet to his left. And then had to spin and make a perfect throw to first to get Romine. So Clevenger has struck out his third. And now the center fielder, Jacoby Jones. The right-handed hitter who is just tremendous defensively. But Jacoby Jones, the question's going to be, as good as he is defensively, as he takes down and away a ball, is he going to hit enough to be able to keep him in the lineup? Jones strikes out every other at-bat. The pitch, a swing and a miss, 1-1. He's batting 163 with the Tigers. Now, most of you, I'm sure, know that if you're playing for Detroit, you must have a good defensive center fielder. The pitch swung on, fouled upstairs, and the count 1-2. I mean, it's pretty obvious most teams need a good defensive center fielder. But in that ballpark where it's 420 to dead center, the premium is on a center fielder that can go get the ball and cover a lot of ground. That pitch outside, 2-2. Jones does that. But you also have to be able to hit better than 163 to keep that job. The pitch. Strike 3 called. He locked him up with the off speed. 4 strikeouts for Clevenger. Jones is out number 2. And now Clevenger has struck out the last 3 Tigers. And Mike Clevenger trying to keep the momentum. Indians 3, Tigers 1. Second inning, 2 outs, nobody on. And first time we've seen Jose Iglesias. He and his wife, and the birth of their child, plus the former Cuban. The pitch is in there, strike. Had to go back to Miami with the birth of their child in the midst of a hurricane. So a lot on the plate of Jose Iglesias. Batting 268. The pitch to him, he waves at it. Clevenger with a high fastball that Iglesias chased, 0-2. Iglesias has been trouble on the Indians this year, batting .354 against Tribe pitching. Clevenger into the motion, 2-strike pitch. Up and in, 1-2. Well, based on today's game, the Indians need to become the Chicago Cubs and play all-day baseball games next year. Way better crowd today than in any of the other 2 games. Now the 1-2 pitch, swung on, fouled into the first base seating area. And this crowd is into this ball game. They've been into it since pitch number 1, as was last night's crowd. But this is a significantly larger crowd than the first 2 games. The pitch, swung on, a weak chopper up the middle. Charged by the second baseman. Ramirez gloves and throws him out. Boy, that was a big inning for Mike Clevenger. The Indians had just given him the lead, and he keeps old Mo on the track. Buck Farmer will try to keep this a 3-1 game. Indians lead, bottom third of the order. Bottom of the second, knee-buckling breaking ball from Buck Farmer. And strike 1 to Yandy Diaz. Boy, what a job he's done since coming back from Columbus. The pitch, inside a ball. Diaz with the Indians early this year, but just struggled like so many youngsters their first time in the big leagues. But he's a different guy since coming back. The 1-1 swung on, jam job, bounced to first near the line as Romine to grab it. He'll go to the bag himself. Diaz hitting .339 in the 19 games he's played in since coming back from Columbus. And because of his emergence and the way Jose Ramirez is playing second base, you're going to see Jason Kipnis get a chance to help the Indians in center field with Bradley Zimmer's season likely over. Jason Kipnis could very well be in center field at some point this weekend against Kansas City. And look for Andrew Miller to face a few batters tomorrow night. Tyler Naquin in center field today, left-handed hitter, and he takes a strike. And boy, you don't think that this game can change on you in a hurry? Tyler Naquin a year ago was third in the American League Rookie of the Year voting. He swings and misses at a changeup, 0-2. He was the Indians' starting center fielder in Game 6 of the World Series and has spent most of this year in Columbus. Now the 0-2, high, 1-2. Naquin batted .298, had 10 homers, 51 RBIs in Columbus. Buck Farmer's ready. Into the motion, the pitch, and it's a high fastball. Naquin not chasing, 2-2. That's something teams found as a weakness last year. Tyler Naquin looks like he's starting to make that adjustment. The pitch to him. He swings and sends a drive to deep left, slicing down the line toward the corner, foul. That was another high fastball, and Naquin put a tremendous swing on it and almost hit one off the wall in the left field corner.
And Tom, sure, he's disappointed that he hasn't played up here most of the season, but he said, look, I had a chance to play every day down there and work on things and make some adjustments, and yes, it's AAA, but he still had a chance to play every day and get some good things done coming back.
So Naquin hitting .250 with an RBI for the Tribe, awaits the 2-2. Here it comes. And it just missed outside. Boy, Buck Farmer begging from the mound for that to be called a strike. Full count. Farmer into the motion, the payoff. A swing and a foul upstairs, 3-2. Well, the Indians are not considering Tyler Naquin for their postseason roster, even with the injury to Bradley Zimmer. So the center fielders are certainly going to be Austin Jackson for one, and then we'll see. Can Jason Kipnis play that spot? Do you go with the youngster Greg Allen? The pitch. Strike 3 called. Naquin's out looking. 4 strikeouts for Farmer. 2 down in the second inning. Tribe leading at 3-1. Dollar Dogs and Fireworks Friday night. Indians entertaining Kansas City. Great tickets remain at Indians.com. And, of course, you might see a clinching and a celebration here at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario this weekend. Although the Royals are in a fight for their playoff lives, and you know how hard they play every game. Here's catcher Roberto Perez. He swings and misses, strike 1. Kansas City right now is 3 games behind Minnesota for the final wild card spot in the American League. New York number 1, Minnesota number 2. And the Yankees lead the Twins by 3 games for home field. The Angels 2 games in back of the Twins, then the Royals, and Texas 3 back. That pitch outside, 1-1. It's amazing. The Twins trade their closer, and they're in the wild card driver's seat right now. Texas trades their ace, Yu Darvish, and they're still in the playoff picture, 3 games back. The 1-1, swing and a miss. Move the fastball in on the hands of Perez. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Perez, during this Indian stretch, has hit .366 over 13 games with 4 homers and 17 RBIs. The pitch, down and away, a breaking ball, 2-2. 3-1 Indians on top. Tribe batting with the bases empty and 2 down here in the second inning. Jay Bruce's 2 make that 3-run homer with 2 outs, giving the Indians the lead in the first. The pitch swung on and missed. Good off-speed breaking ball. So Buck Farmer comes back with a strong second inning and has now struck out, leads off against Mike Clevenger. Kinsler struck out to start the game. The wind, the pitch, and it's in there, called strike. Indians baseball brought to you by MyPillow.com. Go to MyPillow.com, click the radio listener special tab, use the promo code TRIBE. Pitch swung on and missed as Clevenger ran that pitch up and in, and almost in self-defense, Kinsler chased it. Now the 0-2 pitch from Clevenger. Down low, 1-2. Once again, that's MyPillow.com, promo code TRIBE. Ian Kinsler, he has 17 homers this year, 16 solo homers. Now the 1-2. Swung on a little looping liner to second baseman Jose Ramirez, who backed up into shallow right field to pull it down. That'll bring up Alex Presley, who singled and scored the Tiger run in the first. Tigers took the lead when Presley singled and scored on a 2-out RBI double by Jeimer Candelario. Then the Indians' Jay Bruce hit a 3-run home run that just barely got over the 19-foot wall in left center. Clevenger, the wind in the pitch, and Presley taking outside corner a strike. Kansas City is playing a day game today against the White Sox, and then the Royals in town for a 4-game series beginning tomorrow night. The pitch swung on looping liner to left, base hit. It's kind of one-handing it the other way, and Presley continues to torment the Tribe. Now Miguel Cabrera fouled out to the second baseman his first time up. Josh Tomlin will start tomorrow night for the Indians, and Jacob Junis will go for Kansas City. Trevor Bauer Friday night against Jason Vargas. Saturday is a 4:10 start. Carlos Carrasco against Jason Hamill. Sunday, Corey Kluber will be on the hill, and the Royals have not announced their starter for Sunday. Clevenger to Cabrera. A swing and a foul back came in on him again. Strike one. Miguel Cabrera. Boy, you wonder how tough this will be for Cabrera. I mean, one, he signed a contract. I mean, he got a 10-year deal, for goodness sakes. And he is rich beyond his belief, probably. But now he's going to be part of a rebuild. The pitch, swing and a miss, tried to hold up. Again, Clevenger came hard in on the hands, and Cabrera looking like he's trying to bail out and swing at the same time. And he's down in the count 0-2. But Miguel Cabrera is signed up for 6 more years. Now the 0-2 pitch. High, 1-2. And who knows how long this rebuild will take. You can say, well, we'll be contending again in 4 years, but nobody knows. The Indians have gone through it, and it's tough when you start putting an artificial timeline on something. Now the 1-2 pitch. Just missed outside. Boy, Clevenger thought he had the corner. And the count 2-2 on Miguel Cabrera. Runner on, 1 down, 3rd inning. Indians with a 3-1 lead. Cabrera awaiting the 2-2 pitch from Clevenger. Here it comes. Strike 3 called. He took a fastball. How about that? 5 strikeouts for Clevenger. 2 down in the 3rd. 3-1 Indians. Here's Nick Castellanos. He walked his first time up. Right-hander against right-hander. 3-1 Tribe. Castellanos, 21 homers, 29 doubles, and he leads the American League with 10 triples. Now, he's not a guy that runs well, but at Comerica Park, you'll hit a lot of triples in that spacious outfield. The pitch to him is in there. Strike 1 called on a fastball. Mike Clevenger. Well, you look at him and Clevenger, since the beginning of August until now, here mid-September, he's lost 1 time. He has really been on a roll like pretty much everybody in this rotation. Now the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, ground ball, hit right back up the middle, a base hit into center. Was not a hard hit ball, but perfectly placed. Presley stops at second. Castellanos now with a 10-game hitting streak. And that means Jeimer Candelario gets to do damage again, potentially. He had the 2-out RBI double to left center his first time up. Switch hitter batting left-handed. He bats with Tigers at first and second, 2 down. Indians up 3-1, and Perez and Clevenger will meet on the grass between the mound and home plate. Well, give the Tigers credit. They have played the Indians hard in this series. Look, they would love nothing better than to snap the Indians' 20-game win streak. And they have played these games like there's something at stake for the Tigers as well. They have played the Indians hard this entire series. Now with 2 down, Candelario, the switch hitter batting left-handed, takes, and that curveball almost hit the back foot of Candelario for ball 1. Coming up next, the Tigers and White Sox will play each other, and that is the tale of 2 Central Division foes, now both in a total rebuild. Ironically, the White Sox won the World Series in 2005. The Tigers went the next year and lost. Tigers have been to the World Series and lost twice in the last 12 seasons. Now the 1-0 pitch, and it dips low, ball 2-2-0. So Clevenger has certainly not been as dominant or as sharp here today. And he's in a jam again with 2 outs, 2 on. Tribe up 2 in the third, but Candelario, who is hitting extremely well since joining the Tigers, he's got a chance to do some more damage. The pitch, there's a strike. 2 balls and a strike on Candelario. He'll be a part of this rebuild and one of the pieces for the Tigers. Clevenger, that pitching arm swinging back and forth as he bends over at the waist, taking the sign. Now he straightens, he delivers. A swing and a foul back. Got it in on the thumbs. And the count 2-2 on Candelario. So Clevenger 1 strike away from keeping the Indians on top 3-1. 2 out, 2 on for the Tigers. The Indians shading Candelario toward left field and medium deep or so in the outfield. Now the 2-2. Strike 3 called, painted the outside corner with that sinking fastball. 6 strikeouts for Clevenger, and he works out of the jam. Inning. Top of the order, Frankie Lindor doubled and scored in the first. He'll bat left-handed, and he takes the off-speed low and away, ball 1. If the Indians hit a grand slam here in the third, Virginia McKinley of Ashland wins the brand-new Ford Mustang convertible. Now the 1-0 pitch. Off speed again. Change up outside, 2-0. Visit LibertyFord.com to enter and win that 2017 Mustang convertible. Frankie Lindor hit his 37th double in the first. The pitch to him, and he bangs one on the ground to the second baseman. Kinsler will throw him out. Going to bring up Lonnie Chisenhall. Well, George Buck Farmer trying to beat the Indians for the first time in his career, and his earned run average against the Tribe is almost 9 in what is now 6 career appearances, including today. Lonnie Chisenhall struck out his first time up. The pitch to him, and it's in there, called strike. Well, the Indians, by virtue of grabbing the lead in the bottom of the first on the 3-run homer by Jay Bruce, the 0-1 is waved at. Boy, Chisenhall right now is chasing a lot of non-strikes, and he's in the hole, 0-2. The Indians have trailed in just 4 innings so far. The pitch, down low, 1-2. That's 4 innings, folks, in 21 games, including today, that the Indians have trailed in the last 21 games. 4 innings. Hard to be any more dominant than that. Now the 1-2 pitch. Just a little bit low and outside, a fastball, 2-2. And now, with this incredible run by the Indians, the 2-2 pitch, swung on, fouled upstairs. Only the Dodgers have a better record than the Indians. At one point, the Astros were 14 games ahead of the Indians for the best record in the American League. And the Indians have now zoomed by the Astros. Strike 3 called. Chisenhall took one on the outside corner. Farmer has struck out 6. So since the Jay Bruce home run, Buck Farmer has retired 6 straight. 3-1 Indians. Here's Jose Ramirez. He walked and scored on the Bruce bomb. The Dodgers, even though they had recently lost 11 in a row and 16 out of 17, the Dodgers still have the best record in baseball. The pitch, down and in, a ball. The Dodgers are 93-52. The Indians, the second best record in baseball, 89-56. Amazing. Now the 1-0 pitch. Strike called, 1-1. And we get so caught up in this 20-game win streak, but the Indians have been playing good baseball since July 21st. So that's almost a 2-month stretch of dominance. The pitch, outside, 2-1. The Indians are 41-11 since that awful road trip out west to start the second half of the season. 41-11. The Indians have gone from 3 games above 500 on July 20th to 33 games above 500. Breaking ball, down and in, 3-1 the count on Jose Ramirez. And to go on a 30-game swing in less than 2 months is astounding. 3-1 pitch. Swung on, line shot to the gap in right center. Over to cut it off is Jones. Ramirez will dig for 2. Jones spins, throws, head first slide, tag. Not in time. Hustle double. Jose Ramirez has his league-leading 48th double. A liner into the gap in right center. Jacoby Jones did a terrific job. The center fielder raced over, cut it off, did that 360 spin and strong throw to second. But Jose Ramirez, thinking double out of the batter's box, has number 48. And the Indians have their third hit. And Edwin Encarnacion, the batter, struck out his first time up. 3-1 Indians. 2 down in the third, a runner at second. The Indians have 3 hits today, a home run and 2 doubles. Now the set. Farmer's pitch. Down low, ball 1. He really had Encarnacion guessing in his first at bat. He fell behind Encarnacion 3-0 and basically was throwing him nothing but soft stuff, and then struck him out on a 3-2 fastball when it looked like Encarnacion was sitting on off speed. Now the set by Farmer and the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, lifted in the air to shallow right. Coming hard is Castellanos. It drops a base hit. In to score is Ramirez. 4-1 Indians. Encarnacion with a floater off the end of the bat into shallow right. That found safe harbor on that grass. And Encarnacion with his 89th RBI. And the Indians strike with a 2-out double and a 2-out single. And it's a 4-1 Tribe lead in the third. And here's Jay Bruce. He has the game's big blow. The 3-run home run that just did get over the 19-foot wall in left center. He has matched a career high of 34 homers. And he now has 93 RBIs. Tigers in the outfield fairly deep, pretty much straight away. The set and pitch. And it zips in there, a fastball strike. 4 runs, 4 hits for the Indians. They get their first single of the day. 1 run, 4 hits for the Tigers. We're in the third with 2 down. Now the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Fastball. 0-2 on Bruce. The first baseman, Romine, not holding Encarnacion. He's actually playing in front of the base runner. Most times you see that guy play in back of him, but Romine more comfortable playing in front of the runner at first, few feet off the line. Now the 0-2 pitch to Bruce. High and wide, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Buck Farmer has faced the Indians twice this month and has given up 9 runs in 6 innings of work. His 1-2 delivery. Down and in, off speed, 2-2. Right now, the problem Farmer seems to have is he just doesn't have command of all of his pitches. He does at times, but there are too many times where, like here, he gets ahead in the count on a couple of fastballs on Bruce, and now going to his secondary stuff, not even close to throwing strikes. And Bruce is back in the count at 2-2. The pitch. Down and away, just missed. Full count on a changeup. So it's time to take off at first on this pitch for Edwin Encarnacion as the Indians try to expand their 4-1 lead here in the third. Farmer sets, delivers, a swing and a foul at the plate. We will do it again at 3-2. Cloud cover moving into downtown Cleveland now, but still delightful. 76 degrees, a very light breeze, at times blowing out. Buck Farmer is at 70 pitches here in the third inning. Matt Boyd had a high pitch count last night too, but he did a whale of a job working out of jams and keeping the Tigers in the game. Farmer trying to do the same. Here it comes. A swing and a foul off the screen in front of the Tigers' first base dugout. And a 3-2 count on Jay Bruce. Now the set and the payoff. A little outside. Farmer again wanted it, didn't get the call. So Jay Bruce goes from an 0-2 count to a walk. And Brad Ausmus, the Tiger manager, with nobody warming in the bullpen, is walking to the mound. And Carlos Santana. And now Ausmus just got thrown out of the game. That's why he is coming out. Carlos Santana on the on-deck circle, not at home plate yet. And McCann may have gotten thrown out. It's McCann that got thrown out. Ausmus didn't get out there in time. He was walking to the mound. You knew he was unhappy with the calls, and now McCann unhappy with Quinn Walcott. And James McCann, the Tiger catcher, has been thrown out of the ballgame. And so has Brad Ausmus. Well, the frustration mounts for the Tigers. They haven't liked some of the calls here today from Quinn Walcott. But, again, when you're a ball club in the Tigers' position, the frustration of losing, of players being traded, now you feel the umpires are against you. But you know what, folks? The Indians were on the other side of this coin time and time again when Detroit was rampaging through the Central Division. And there were how many times the Indians felt Justin Verlander's getting every call. Miguel Cabrera's getting every call. Well, when you're losing, that's how it feels. And sometimes it does work out that way, but That's why it's so cyclical in this game, and the Tigers may not like how the calls are going, but the bottom line is they're not winning games, and it's not because of the umpires. And now we got to get a new catcher for the Tigers with Indians at first and second, and 2 down, and the Indians leading 4-1.
But keep an eye on later in this game if there's close calls on Cabrera. Between innings, Quinn Walcott yelled over at the Tiger bench, "Hey, knock it off," as Cabrera was giving him a hard time. He was called out on strikes in the top half of the inning. And that's something that we may want to keep an eye on if this continues.
Well, Cabrera now is out of the Tigers' underneath area of the dugout, and he's been pointing and jabbering at some of the fans behind the first base dugout. And Cabrera always seems to have a ongoing monologue with fans, with umpires, with the opposing players. Well, when you're blasting people and going to the playoffs year in and year out, that works. But when you're getting your head handed to you on a platter, it doesn't look so good. So the Tigers have lost their manager, and now they've lost their catcher. And John Hicks has come on to catch. And you can understand the frustration with the Tigers. Again, the Indians have been there. And McCann felt like Farmer wasn't getting any of the close calls, and he finally blew up, and he was ejected, as was his manager, Brad Ausmus. So John Hicks now catching, Carlos Santana now batting left-handed. The pitch, and it's downstairs, a ball. Now, this is a proud Tiger organization, and I've said it again and again. For the last 12 years, the Tigers have had an incredible run where they have gone to spring training for 12 straight years with a chance to play in October, which means a chance to play in the World Series. The pitch, off speed, outside, 2-0. I tell you what, in this day and age, folks, that's incredible to have that kind of sustained success. But now it's a time where the Tigers are in for what looks to be a long rebuild. The 2-0. Just a bit outside, 3-0. I'll give Buck Farmer some credit. He didn't like the call, but he maintained his poise and stayed in the game. The last thing the Tigers need is to get their starting pitcher tossed out of here. Tigers go to a 3-man infield between first and second with a 3-0 count on Santana. The Indians up 4-1 in the third, 2 out, 2 on. The pitch. High, ball 4. Bases are loaded. Boy, all of this starting after there were 2 outs and nobody on base. Jose Ramirez double to right center. Edwin Encarnacion had a bloop single to right for an RBI. And then back-to-back walks by Jay Bruce and Carlos Santana. And here's Yandy Diaz, the right-handed hitting third baseman. The Indians with a 4-1 lead, and Diaz could blow this baby wide open. 2 down, bases loaded. We've got a chance to give away a Ford Mustang convertible. The pitch up and in, and did it hit the umpire? It did. Down goes Quinn Walcott. He got hit in the throat area, and that didn't look good. John Hicks didn't catch the pitch from Buck Farmer, and it got the home plate umpire in the throat area, and the look of that isn't good for the Tigers after a catcher and a manager gets ejected. And Walcott is now being attended to by Indians trainer James Quinlan. John Hicks had to be caught off guard with a sign that either he didn't give and Farmer thought he did. They had to be crossed up. Walcott now gets to his feet. Because, I'll tell you what, it doesn't look good for the Tigers after what has happened, but they're not doing that on purpose. There's no way, but for the Tigers, boy, that didn't look good at all. And Hicks had to have been crossed up. And now, everybody is okay And the umpires are going back to their respective spots. And John Hicks just apologized to Quinn Walcott. You knew darn well it wasn't done purposely. Obviously, it didn't look good for the Tigers, but they're not doing that on purpose. And John Hicks made sure that Quinn Walcott knew that. Now the 1-0 pitch. Inside. Right now, Farmer has no idea where he's throwing the ball. He hasn't come close on his last 6 pitches. The Indians have loaded the bases. 2 down in the 3rd inning. The Indians up 4-1. The pitch to Diaz. Inside, he almost hit Diaz. Buck Farmer looks like he's completely lost it. And again, Buck Farmer's not trying to hit Yandy Diaz. Fans are booing, but nobody's more frustrated right now than Buck Farmer. He's lost maybe his arm slot, something. But the ball is going all over the place. The 3-0 pitch. Inside corner, a strike, 3-1. 4-1 Indians. Bases loaded in the 3rd, 2 down. Encarnacion at 3rd, Bruce at 2nd, Santana at 1st. Farmer's 3-1 pitch to Diaz. Strike 2 called. That's a borderline pitch on the inside corner. Diaz thought it might have been ball 4. Full count. Diaz grounded out to 1st. His first time up. Farmer really working in on Diaz. Traveling time for the law firm of Encarnacion, Bruce and Santana. The payoff pitch. Swung on, fouled upstairs. We will do it again. So everybody goes back. Encarnacion to 3rd, Bruce to 2nd, Santana to 1st. 2 down. Indians 4, Tigers 1, 3rd inning. Folks, we've had a lot go on in 3 innings, haven't we?
Absolutely.
That's what happens when you're trying to set a record. The pitch. Swung on, line drive to left field. Coming on, making a running basket catch is Alex Presley. Oh, Presley just kept the Tigers in the game with a terrific jump on that sinking liner to left.
Have reached the 4th inning on a day where the Tribe can make it 21 straight wins. Leading things off, John Hicks, and he fouls the first pitch into the seats on the right side. 0-1 the count on the new catcher for the Tigers. James McCann ejected from this game in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Here's Mike Clevenger's pitch, and it's up high for a ball. 1-1 the count on Hicks. Jim Rosenhaus along with Tom Hamilton. Great to have you with us on this Wednesday afternoon. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count on Hicks. Tigers actually jumped in front early, only the 2nd time during the win streak that the opposition have scored first. The 1-2, fastball, low and away. 2-2 the count. But the Indians came storming back with 3 in the bottom of the 1st inning on a Jay Bruce home run. The 2-2, swung on, broken bat roller to the second baseman Ramirez. Up with it, throws on to 1st in time for the out. 1 gone. Andrew Romine, the batter. Romine struck out his first time up. Tribe added another run last inning. Edwin Encarnacion with an RBI single. Indians, 4 runs on 4 hits. Tigers, 1 run on 4 base hits off of Mike Clevenger. Here's the pitch to Romine. He swings and skies one to shallow center. Out the second baseman Ramirez, and he makes the catch. 2 quick outs for Mike Clevenger. I'll tell you what, Tom had mentioned earlier about the size of the crowd this afternoon. And this was a couple of innings ago. And it has grown considerably in the last 2 innings to the point where you look out at the big wrought iron gates in front of the plaza near the home run porch, and they are still coming in. At the plate, Jacoby Jones takes a pitch down low for ball 1. Now, the far reaches of the upper deck down the left field line starting to fill up, and those seats in front of the terraces in right field starting to gain some fans. The 1-0. Breaking ball inside 2-0. Hey, we are only starting the 4th inning. If you want to potentially see history this afternoon, come on down. If you work downtown, Tell him you're running an errand and you'll be back in a little while. The 2-0 swung on, a chopper to short. Lindor with the high hop, throws on the run, in time at first base. Fine inning for Mike Clevenger as he sets the side out in order. We head to the bottom, lead things off for the Indians. Right-hander Buck Farmer stays on for the Tigers. He's into the wind. Here's his pitch, and it's a fastball strike on the outside corner. Naquin struck out his first time up. Farmer has 6 strikeouts, but he's allowed the 4 runs on 4 hits. Here's his 0-1, and Naquin takes it outside for a ball. That'll even the count at 1-1. Second time in 2 seasons that Farmer has faced the Indians in a potential milestone type of game. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Swung on, fouled off at home plate, and that got a piece of the catcher Hicks. He'll need some time to walk that one off. But last year, it was Farmer who was on the mound in late September when the Indians clinched the American League Central Division title in Detroit. They won that ball game 7-4. Farmer was charged with the loss that day, or that night. And now today, he's on the mound in a game where the Indians can win their 21st consecutive game, establish a new American League record for a winning streak. The 1-2, that's up high. 2-2 the count, and move into a tie with the 1935 Chicago Cubs at 21 games, a winning streak. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, chopped foul at home plate. Count remains 2-2. Biggest topic of discussion around town on sports radio and in the press box here. Do you acknowledge the New York Giants' 26-game streak back in 1916? There was a tie in there. So do you say that's an unbeaten streak and not a winning streak? The 2-2. Swung on, a chopper to the right side. Kinsler up with it. Throws on to first in time. Naquin retired for the first out here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Well, leads to some great debate. Let's say, no, you don't acknowledge that. Tribe wins today, they tie the major league record. They win tomorrow, they break it. Roberto Perez steps in, struck out his first time up. To relieve muscle cramps in your legs and feet, reach for TheraWorks Relief, a fast-acting foam that can prevent muscle cramps. Get TheraWorks Relief today at TheraWorksRelief.com. Perez bunts and bunts foul at home plate net. That got a piece of the catcher Hicks, who just was nailed with a foul tip a couple of pitches ago. So that's twice in 2 batters that Hicks is feeling it behind the plate. That is a thankless job sometimes, catching. Now Farmer's into the wind. Here comes his 0-1. Breaking ball on the inside corner for a strike. 0-2 the count on Roberto Perez. Tribe up 4-1. Bottom half of the 4th inning. Cloudy skies now in downtown Cleveland. Here comes the 0-2. Fastball low and in. 1-2 the count on Perez. Well, a nice warm day, though. We started at 76 degrees, maybe a little warmer than that now. The 1-2 swung on, chopped foul outside of third. And we'll do it again on 1-2. Frankie Lindor waiting on deck at the top of that Tribe lineup. He has been a catalyst again today. One and two the count. Here comes the pitch. Fastball missed inside. And the count goes to 2-2 on Roberto Perez. Right-handed hitting catcher. Part of that outstanding tandem, he and Yan Gomes. The 2-2. Down low, ball 3. Perez steps outside the box and takes his time getting back in. Now Farmer into the wind. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase the high fastball. And that is strikeout number 7 for Farmer. Back to the top of the lineup. Frankie Lindor will step in. A double in the first inning, and that set the table for a 3-run Tribe first. They now lead at 4-1. Lindor was moved into the leadoff spot full time On August the 10th, that's when the Indians started that series at Tampa Bay, the first day that Jay Bruce was with the ball club after the trade from the Mets. Indians lost that night, but they haven't lost much since, as Lindor looks at a pitch outside for a ball. And there's many reasons why, and certainly one of the keys of the work of Lindor in the leadoff spot since that time. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, a ground ball to first. Up with it, Romine. He takes it to the bag in time. Side retired in order for the Indians in the fourth, and we've played 4 at Progressives. Jose Iglesias leads things off, facing Mike Clevenger. 5th inning underway. Clevenger's pitch is inside for ball 1. Tribe 4, Tigers 1. Indians working on your standard 20-game win streak. Here's the 1-0. Inside, 2-0. Iglesias having a jackknife out of the way. Clevenger, he's had to battle his way through to some extent today, but bottom line, only 1 run on the board. That came in the first inning. Set the side out in order last inning. Well, he's been tremendous in his last 3 starts heading into this one. The 2-0. Inside, ball 3. Big reason why he stayed away from spots like this, falling behind in the count. And he stayed away from the walks. Here's the 3-0. And that's up high for ball 4. So he walks Iglesias to open this 5th inning. Second walk allowed by Clevenger. And he was saying the other day, and Mickey Callaway backed it up, biggest key in more success throwing strikes and adjustment made by the catchers. They are now setting up square in the middle of the plate instead of on the edges and letting that natural movement take over. And Mike was saying that when they looked at some of the video and the charts of where his pitches were ending up and where the catchers were, it seemed pretty simple actually when you looked at it. Here's Ian Kinsler, and he swings, grounds 1 to short. Lindor to second for 1. Ramirez to first. Double play. 2 down, base is empty. Alex Presley will be the batter. But Clevenger was saying when they would sit up on the corners with the target, which a lot of pitchers like, his natural movement was taking the pitches just off the edges, and he wasn't getting the strikes. And that was readily shown on some of the analytics, and so they said, hey, Roberto, Jan, set up in the center of the plate, and he's still, that's not where the pitches are ending up, in a fat part of the plate for the hitters, but instead in a good spot, and still strikes. Here's Presley, who takes a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Just a subtle adjustment, and it's made a ton of difference for Clevenger, who was pretty good before that, actually. But now less walks. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball on the inside corner, strike 2. 2 down, base is empty. Top of the 5th, 4-1. Indians leading. Can they make it 21 in a row? Here's the 0-2 pitch. Presley fouls it back into the net. And the count remains 0-2. Elk and Elk brings us the injury report. A proud partner of the Tribe. Give them a call at Elk and Elk. 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Could see Andrew Miller tomorrow night. That's the plan. Back at it. Over the knee injury and itching to get back on the hill. Here's the 0-2. Inside, 1-2. Jason Kipnis soon to follow. That hamstring healing nicely. Just a day or 2 more, looks like. Maybe a little more, but soon for Kipnis. And in center field will be the other adjustment for him. The 1-2, swung on, ground ball, first base side, scooped up by Santana on a fair ball, takes it to the bag in time for the out. Side retired, 10-second station identification on the Cleveland Clinic Indians Radio Network. Jim Rosenhaus along with Tom Hamilton back with you at Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, where the Indians lead the Tigers 4-1, bottom half of the 5th inning. And a new pitcher for Detroit facing Lonnie Chisenhall, who takes a pitch up high. A strike from Daniel Norris, the left-hander. Norris in the rotation most of the year. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, line drive to center. Sinking fast, coming on, and making the catch. Sliding to do it is Jacoby Jones. Oh, a nice play there by Jones. On a line drive, hit right at him. Went into the slide and made the catch. So one down. Norris started 16 games before being put in the bullpen. He's made 2 appearances since. 4-7 on the season. ERA of 5.44. Here's Jose Ramirez, and he takes a pitch down low for ball 1. Now Norris, heading into the year, counted on to be a major part of that starting rotation, and was, but just wasn't having the success that the Tigers were looking for. And as a result, he's been placed in the pen for the remainder of the season, just to see if he can't get things ironed out. Ramirez today, a walk and a double in 2 trips. The pitch to him, swung on, popped up, shallow right, drifting back, making the catch is the first baseman, Romine. And just like that, there's 2 down in the inning. Now Jason Kipnis and Papachan. Now the sprinklers have gone off in the outfield, in left field, in front of the 19-foot high wall. Alex Presley's the left fielder, and he didn't count on getting this early a shower today, but that's what's going on. So they'll work to shut those down here. Just in left, right near the warning track. It's like 6 sprinkler heads have a mind of their own this afternoon, and they're still going as they try and get things squared away and get those shut down. Hey, Jason Kipnis and Papachans have teamed up to raise money for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Cleveland. Order the Kipnis for Kids meal from Papachans. It includes 2 large 2-topping pizzas and a 2-liter Pepsi for $24.22, and then 10% of those proceeds from all the orders will be donated to the Boys and Girls Clubs. Well, the watering of the left field area is complete, so we will resume play as Edwin Encarnacion steps in. Encarnacion with an RBI single his last time up. 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Norris delivers. Fastball strike on the inside corner. 4-1, Indians lead here in the 5th. Norris right back to it. High leg kick and the 0-1 pitch. Down low, 1-1. Follow the Indians the rest of the way. MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. That gives you the live radio, stats, breaking news, and more. The 1-1. Down low. Download the #1 app for live baseball, MLB.com at bat. Now the 2-1 delivery to Encarnacion. He swings and rips it foul past Mike Sarbaugh, third base coach. 2-2 the count on Encarnacion. Now with 89 runs driven in. Boy, it sure looks like he's going to get to 100 again in terms of RBI. The 2-2 swung on, popped up on the infield. The shortstop calling for it. Iglesias into the outfield grass, makes the catch to retire the side in order. 5 complete in downtown Cleveland. The Indians 4, the Tigers 1 on the Cleveland Clinic.
6 degrees, closing in maybe close to 80. A bit of a breeze blowing out toward the right field. And the Indians leading the Tigers 4-1 as we go to the 6th. Miguel Cabrera leads it off, turns away from a curveball strike. Mike Clevenger has struck out 6. He has walked 2. Tigers got the run they have scored in the first as that curveball's in the dirt, 1-1. Tigers in that first inning got a 2-out RBI double from Jamer Candelario to take a rare 1-0 lead. The pitch, and it's inside 2-1. The Tigers have only scored 1 run in the 3 games of this series. The pitch, swung on, a bouncing ball, weakly hit to third, at the cut of the grass. Diaz throws it away. Now, he just kind of nonchalanted that throw to first and paid the price. That's as routine as it gets. Cabrera doesn't run well. And he kind of nonchalanted that throw over to first, and he airmailed it out of play. And it's a two-base throwing error on Yandy Diaz. Boy, you can't get careless. And the one thing that the Indians have done better than certainly any team in the American League this year is catch the ball, make plays, not make errors, and that doesn't count the plays the Indians make that take away base hits. It's not always just the errors that you talk about with defense. It's the balls you don't get to, and the Indians have as much range defensively as any team. And just a careless throwing error there by Yandy Diaz. Here's Nick Castellanos. He takes it's inside a ball. So Cabrera is on at second with nobody out. Tribe leading it 4-1. Jay Bruce hit a 3-run homer that just cleared the 19-foot wall in left center in the first. The Indians' other run coming on Edwin Encarnacion's RBI single after Jose Ramirez had doubled. Now the 1-0. A swing and a long drive. This is deep left center, and it's over the head of Chisenhall. Short hops the wall. Chisenhall throwing to second. Sliding feet first. Safe as Castellanos with an RBI double. So Miguel Cabrera scores the unearned run. And that error by Yandy Diaz has opened the door, and the Tigers now trail 4-2. Bang, bang play at second. But Castellanos scorched a double over the head of Lonnie Chisenhall. And that ball short hopped the 370 marker in left center. So Castellanos has his 30th double and 86th run batted in. And Indians pitching coach Mickey Callaway is heading to the mound. Well, you open up a door there with an error to start the inning, and the Tigers, desperate for a win, now have new life. And nobody out, and Jamer Candelario will be the batter. Mike Clevenger has given up 2 runs, one of them unearned here this inning. And the Tigers, who were in danger of becoming the second team to come to Cleveland and get blanked in a 3-game series. Remember the Kansas City Royals? The Indians threw 3 consecutive shutouts against the Kansas City Royals. And that was in the infancy stages of this now 20-game win streak. The Indians' winning streak started against the Boston Red Sox on August 24th, and then that next 3 games was a weekend series in which the Indians shut the Royals out all 3 times. Here's Jamer Candelario taking a strike. So those were wins 2, 3, and 4 in the 20-game stretch. And the Tigers had been shut out Monday night and Tuesday night, but they have scored 2 here today. Indians 4, Tigers 2, 6th inning. The 0-1 pitch. And it's swung on a liner to short. Reaching down with a backhand is Lindor. Evidently he played that on the short hop. It was hard to tell from here. He reached down. It looked like he had caught it. He threw to first anyway, just to make sure. In either case, Candelario is out and Castellanos has to stay at second. 1 down, but that was a hard hit ball. And here's John Hicks. John Hicks was entered in this game when catcher James McCann got thrown out in the 3rd inning. The pitch, swing and a miss. Clevenger got away with a hanging curveball. James McCann was not enthralled with home plate umpire Quinn Wolcott in the 3rd. He got tossed, as did his manager Brad Ausmus. So Hicks, his second at bat, grounded out his first time. Right-handed hitter, checks on a pitch. He went around, says first base ump Brian Honora. And the count is 0-2. The Indians get activity in their bullpen. Right-handers Nick Goody and Brian Shaw. Now the 0-2 pitch. a little bit high, 1-2. It's only the 6th inning, so plenty of time for the Tigers to try and prevent history from being made here in Cleveland. Clevenger sets, delivers, and it's swung on, grounded toward the line at first. On his knees, knocking it down. Santana scrambles with a pickup throw to Clevenger, covering for the out. Good job by Carlos Santana going toward the line on his knees. Knocked that ball down and flipped it to Clevenger covering. Castellanos to third, but now there are 2 men out. So if there is no error, this inning is over and it's a 4-1 ballgame. Here's Andrew Romine. He's 0 for 2. Switch hitter. Batting left-handed. Big run out at third, and Castellanos 2 down in the Tigers' 6th. Cleveland 4, Detroit 2. Tom Hamilton back with you along with Jim Rosenhaus. Final meeting of the year between these clubs as the pitch is waved at. Another good slow curve. The Indians 12-6 against the Tigers this year after going 14-4 a year ago. The 0-1 checked on a pitch down low, blocked by Perez, and the count 1-1. Kansas City makes its final appearance. A 4-game series starting tomorrow night. And the Royals clinging to their playoff lives. The pitch up high, 2-1. Kansas City Royals, they'll come to town, certainly in the wild card picture. They're 3 games out of the second wild card spot right now. 2-1 pitch, and it's in there, a called strike. Romine thought that curveball might have been high, might have been outside. 2-2 the count. Clevenger into the wind, the pitch. Swing and a foul back. We'll do it again at 2-2. Clevenger back to the windup with 2 down and Castellanos at third. Clevenger now at 96 pitches. Has struck out 6, has walked 2. And the error, too, has cost Clevenger a lot of extra pitches here in the 6th. Now the right-hander's pitch. A little bit high, and Romine doesn't chase the fastball. Full count. One's got to believe this is the final hitter for Mike Clevenger, whether he gets him or not. The payoff pitch. Swung on line to right. That'll be an RBI base hit. And it's a 1-run game. Castellanos scores on Romine's 2-out RBI single to right. And every run this inning off Clevenger is unearned. And his day is done as Terry Francona makes a pitching change that is brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic. Here in the 6th inning, the Tigers, who played about as hard as you can play last night, are not going away today either. Standing ovation for Clevenger coming to that third base dugout. The Indians lead the Tigers 4-3.
Hi, Tribe fans. This is Tom Hamilton, voice of the Indians for
Protect a 4-3 lead. Nick Goody having a career year, 1 win, 2 losses, ERA 2.72. His 50th appearance. Goody has 18 more strikeouts than innings pitched. And he's primarily a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball and slider. So right-hander against right-hander. Jacoby Jones, the hitter. Tying run at first, 2 down in the Tigers' 6th. The set by Nick Goody, and the throw over and back with a dive is Romine. Now, we've talked endlessly about how critical the Indians' defense has been all season long. It's ranked number 1 in the American League. Not so much, again, about the errors they don't make, but the balls they get to that most teams just don't get to from a defensive standpoint. The pitch, down low a ball. Well, today a rare error, and the throwing error by Yandy Diaz to start this inning has led to 2 unearned runs, and this has gone from a 3-run lead to a 1-run game. It doesn't matter how dominant your pitching is. If you make mistakes behind that dominant pitching, you'll pay a price. And the Indians have this inning. The pitch, in there, strike 1-1. Ask the New York Mets. That's as big a reason as any that they lost the 2015 World Series to Kansas City, who had a much more dominant rotation than the Mets. But they didn't make plays in the World Series, and their mistakes cost them big time. Now the 1-1 to Jones. Swing and a miss. High fastball. And the count 1-2. But hey, mistakes are going to happen. Yandy Diaz made one this inning. Just his third error in 38 games. Romine, the runner at first, 2 down. Tigers have scored 2 and trail the Indians by a run. Goody's 1-2 delivery. Runner takes off, pitch swung on and missed. Nick Goody does it again. Strikes out Jacoby Jones to end it. But 2 unearned runs have pulled the Tigers right back in business. 4-3, the Indians lead that. Boy, that's been a problem area for Detroit even in their heyday. 4-3, Indians lead. Jay Bruce cuts and misses at the Daniel Norris offering. Daniel Norris in his second inning of relief work. He had a 1-2-3 fifth. Tigers trying to get him turned around going into next season. The pitch. Bruce takes downstairs 1-1. He's got great stuff, but it just didn't translate in what has been a really bad year for Daniel Norris, who, along with Matt Boyd, were the key pieces in the David Price trade with Toronto. Bruce takes a pitch that bounces in, 2 balls and a strike. Jay Bruce got the game's biggest hit, that 3-run homer to left center in the first. He walked his other time up. The Tigers, it just seems like it's been a lifelong pursuit. The pitch, outside, 3-1. The Tigers dead last in the American League this year as far as bullpen effectiveness. And even when the Tigers were dominating this division and winning 4 straight division crowns, the weak point was always that bullpen. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. He chased ball 4 up and in. Full count. But when you had a rotation of Verlander, Scherzer, Sanchez in his heyday, seemed like the bullpen might have been an afterthought. And probably is the reason why the Tigers didn't win it all in 13. The pitch. Swung on a little floater towards shallow left. Coming in to grab it is Presley. I mean, most people think, even though Boston won it all, Detroit was the best team in the American League in 2013. They had Boston on the ropes. They were about to go up 2-0 in the ALCS at Fenway. And then David Ortiz got a big home run late in that game to tie it off the Tiger bullpen. Red Sox came back to win Game 2. Here's Carlos Santana. He takes a called strike, and it changed the complexion of that series, and Detroit never recovered. Now the 0-1 pitch. Down low, 1-1. And the bullpen has continued to be a constant problem area for Detroit. Norris winds, delivers. Santana waves at it, 1-2. Norris this year made 16 starts before being demoted. Teams batting .302 off of him, an ERA of almost 5.5. The 1-2 pitch, swung on, ground ball toward third, foul. They have simplified Norris. He's now on the third base side of the rubber. He has that abbreviated delivery. He's got the stuff to be a big-time winner, and the Tigers need him to be a big-time winner. When you trade David Price and you get 2 young pitchers, Boyd and Norris, those 2 young pitchers have got to be a big part of the future. The pitch, check swing, he went around, so the strikeout is the first. Norris looks good. The other thing he's really done, he has picked up the tempo. He is working quickly. Here's Yandy Diaz. He's 0 for 2. Ground out, line out. Indians baseball brought to you by your Northern Ohio Buick and GMC dealers. Stop by soon for exceptional offers on a wide variety of 2017 models. Indians' magic number is 5. Anytime they win or Minnesota loses, the number's reduced to wrap up another division title. Diaz taking a strike. It would be the Indians' second straight Central Division title. and 9th all time. Now the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, ripped foul off to the right club seats, 0-2. No club in the AL Central has won as many division titles as the Indians. Now the 2-strike pitch in the dirt to the backstop, 1-2. Everyone seemingly has had a pretty good run. Maybe not as dominant as the Indians, Tigers, and Twins, but everyone's had a run at it. Indians won 5 in a row and 6 in 7 years at one point. Twins won 6 in 9 years. Tigers won 4 straight. Now the 1-2 pitch. Inside, he almost hit him with the hard stuff. That got Diaz raising his arms and turning out of the way quickly. 2-2 the count. 2 outs, nobody on. Cleveland 4, Detroit 3, 6th inning. Norris, the wind and pitch. Swing and a miss. Boy, Norris looks good. So the Indians go down quietly again. 6 in the books. It's a 4-3 Indians leading streak. It's a 1-run game right now. The number 9 hitter is at the plate, Jose Iglesias. Right-hander Nick Goody lets it fly, and it's in there, a called strike. Left-hander Tyler Olson up in the Tribe bullpen. Now the set. Now the pitch. Swung on, he had high in the air to deep left, but he hooked it foul. 0-2. Giovanni Urshela is now playing third base for the Indians. Look out there and see if there are any other changes. It hadn't been announced, but Urshela's out there at third. And that right now is the only change defensively. Nick Goody, he got the final out in the 6th. Mike Clevenger, still the pitcher of record, trying to win his 10th game. But it's up to the Indians' top-ranked bullpen now to deliver again. The pitch swung on, popped him up. Third baseman Giovanni Urshela backs up into shallow left and pulls it down. Iglesias is out number 1. That top-ranked bullpen gets the true game changer in Andrew Miller. Looks like he'll face a couple of batters tomorrow night when the Indians take on the Kansas City Royals. Indians hope to get Andrew Miller in the game tomorrow night to face a few batters. He is chomping at the bit, ready to go, says he feels great. And a pretty good chance Jason Kipnis will play some center field this weekend against the Royals. Top of the order, Ian Kinsler takes, and it's a high slider. Kinsler still is a dangerous hitter with 17 home runs, all of them solo shots, except a 2-run homer on Sunday. 4-3 Indians. The set and pitch. Swung on, grounded foul, third base side, 1-1. The 6-inning totals: Cleveland 4 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and the Indians have left 3 men on base. Detroit 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and the Tigers have stranded 5. Now the 1-1. Slider strike. Nick the outside corner. Now Ian Kinsler unhappy with Quinn Walcott. The guess here is that home plate umpire Quinn Walcott will not be invited to the Tigers' Christmas party. He has not made a lot of friends with the guys in the first base dugout today. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. Upper regions of the letter area. And that's the fastball that Kinsler chased, and Nick Goody's done his job. And this pitching change is going to be brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. So with a lefty at the plate, the left-hander Tyler Olson, who's just been an incredible find for the Indians, is the batter, 2 for 3. Olson kicks, fires, and delivers a ball outside. Presley has killed the Indians all season long. He's hit way over 400 against Tribe pitching. 5 for 10 this weekend, or this week, actually. The pitch, and a breaking ball and a good one. That curveball nicked the outside corner, 1-1. Indians have actually been out hit today, 6-4. The Indians have a home run, 2 doubles, and a single. The 1-1 pitch, swung on, fouled it back, 1-2. Brian Shaw ready if needed in the Indians bullpen because Miguel Cabrera looms on deck. Cabrera's on the on-deck circle, continuing to go back and forth with the fans. I wouldn't say he's exactly focused on the game. Now the 1-2. Swung on, fouled back again. Well, I guess if you've had the kind of career Miguel Cabrera's had, you can do it. He has had an ongoing dialogue with fans on the on-deck circle, from his dugout to the fans behind the first base dugout. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball outside, 2-2. I don't know if he knows the score of the game, but he knows about a dozen people's names here in the lower bowl.
He knows what's on the menu in that dugout suite down there.
Now the wind by Olsen, the 2-2. Inside, he jumped back, full count. I wonder how the Tigers feel about that. I don't know if you'd get an honest answer.
Especially tight game like this now. And I know that their season is lost, but you're right about the effort the last couple of nights here. They played inspired baseball.
The pitch. Swing and a cue shot foul. So the count stays full. Olsen in a good battle with Alex Presley, who's literally been the most impressive hitter the Indians have had to get out this year in the Tiger lineup. Nobody's hit the Indians as well as Alex Presley, and he seems to have a good at-bat, every at-bat against whomever is on the hill for the Indians, who have the number 1 ranked pitching staff in the league. The payoff, swung on, popped him up. This is playable. Near home plate. Mask away. Perez makes the catch and foul ground. And Olsen gets the job done again. It's stretch time at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario. With the score, Cleveland 4, Detroit 3. Brandon Guyer will pinch hit for the Indians. Bottom of the 7th, and he takes a called strike. Indians with a 4-3 lead over the Tigers. Guyer, the right-handed hitter, looks at a ball in, 1-1. Guyer batting for Tyler Naquin, who is 0 for 2. Brandon Guyer digs in. Norris kicks, fires, and the pitch fouled upstairs, 1-2. Boy, Norris is really pitching rapid fire and is just pounding the strike zone right now. He really looks good. He's retired all 6 Indians here in relief. The wind and the pitch. And it's in the dirt, blocked by Hicks. The Tigers have right-hander Joe Jimenez and the left-hander Daniel Stumpf warming in their bullpen. 4-3 Cleveland, bottom of the 7th. The Indians haven't had a hit since the 3rd inning. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, ground ball back up the middle. Backhanded behind second. Kinsler slings it to first to get Guyer. That'll bring up the catcher. Roberto Perez has struck out twice today. 11 in a row set down by Tiger pitching. Here's Perez. Now there are some other games this afternoon, and the New York Yankees lead Tampa Bay 3-1 in the 4th inning. Chicago and Kansas City underway, no score, 2nd inning. Those are the only games going on besides this one. The Tribe leading 4-3 as Roberto Perez looks at a strike. Scores brought to you by Ram Trucks. Sometimes all it takes to be a hero is the legendary and proven strength of Ram Trucks. The pitch and strike 2 call. Come in now, get great deals during Ram Power Days. 0-2 the count on the Tribe catcher. 4-3 the Indians still prevailing, but a white knuckler in downtown Cleveland. The pitch. Swung on, hit high, hit deep to center. This ball's got a chance. Gone! Roberto Perez clears the 19-foot wall in dead center. He has hit his 5th home run in the last 14 games. And the Indians get a mammoth insurance run and lead the Tigers 5-3 here in the 7th inning. Roberto Perez had 1 home run this year. 1 home run this year until this recent hot stretch. Here's Frankie Lindor taking outside a ball. Roberto Perez had 2 home runs in Game 1 of the World Series last October. Now the 1-0 pitch. Swung and banged up the middle. Base hit center field. Lindor's 2 for 4. So Perez goes basically almost 5 months with 1 home run. And in the last 14 games, Roberto Perez has 5 homers and 18 RBIs. And the Indians have a 5-3 lead in the 7th. Lindor at first with his 2nd hit today. 428 feet for Roberto Perez over the 19-foot wall in dead center. Here is Lonnie Chisenhall. The lefty-lefty matchup. Norris delivers. A swing and a miss. Strike 1. Chisenhall 0 for 3. So Buck Farmer went the first 4, gave up 4. Daniel Norris in his 3rd inning of work has given up a run. His 0-1 pitch to Chisenhall. Runner goes, pitch swung on, banged foul off to the right. Lindor had a stolen base. But Chisenhall swung and the count is 0-2. The Indians saw the Tigers take the lead in the first on Jeimer Candelario's RBI double. But then Frankie Lindor doubled in the first. Jose Ramirez walked and Jay Bruce hit a 3-run homer to left center. Now the pitch. Strike 3 called. Chisenhall looked at a fastball. 2 down. 3rd strikeout. And here's Jose Ramirez. He'll bat right-handed. The Indians made it 4-1 in the 3rd. With 2 outs, nobody on. Jose Ramirez doubled and Edwin Encarnacion singled. Tigers got 2 unearned runs in the 6th. RBI double by Nick Castellanos. RBI single by Andrew Romine to make it 4-3. And Roberto Perez with a 428-foot homer to center field here in the 7th has given the Indians now a 5-3 cushion. Ramirez has walked, doubled, and popped up. Norris the set. Ramirez batting right-handed. The pitch to him and he grounds one towards short. Iglesias will sling it over to second for the inning-ending force. But a big blow by Roberto Perez has given the Indians a 2-run lead. The Tribe 6 outs away from history. It's a 7-inning ball game to this point. Indians 5, Tigers 3. We go to the 8th. And one of the dominant setup men in baseball over the last 5 years is on again. Brian Shaw takes over. Greg Allen now in center field. Brian Shaw will make his league-leading 70th appearance. And today, Brian Shaw becomes the first Cleveland Indian to ever appear in 70 games 5 consecutive years. Righty-righty matchup. Miguel Cabrera the batter in the pitch. It's swung on, ripped foul, strike 1. Shaw mid-90s cut fastball and slider. He is 4-5, 2 saves, a 3.19 ERA. And Brian Shaw is as big a reason for this Indians' continued run of success over the last several years as anyone. The pitch swung on, fouled onto the screen, 0-2. to have a guy who's 9 times out of 10 facing a middle of the order with right-handed hitters, and to make 70 appearances in 5 straight years, he might be one of the most undervalued setup men in the game. The pitch swung on, ripped to right, a base hit. So an opposite field single to right for Miguel Cabrera. This guy not only has appeared in 70 games 5 straight years, but in 5 years with the Indians has an ERA of 3. And how many times is he pitching with a game on the line, leading to your closer? Here is Nick Castellanos, a walk, a single, and RBI double. Righty-righty matchup. Tigers with a tying run at the plate in a dangerous hitter in Nick Castellanos, who has 21 home runs. Indians, 5 runs, 6 hits. Tigers, 3 runs, 7 hits. It's the 8th. The pitch swung on and missed, strike 1 on a 95-mile-an-hour cut fastball. To relieve muscle cramps in your legs and feet, reach for ThoroughWorks Relief, a fast-acting foam that can prevent muscle cramps and dandruff. Get ThoroughWorks Relief today at ThoroughWorksRelief.com. Now the set by Shaw. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Moved the fastball in on his hands. 0-2.
That's good stuff.
It is. Especially if you have your feet struggling with dandruff.
Grover could have used that the last time he filled in for you. He was cramping up all over the place. Wasn't good.
Oh, we send our best to Mike Hargrove. He's recovering from knee replacement surgery. Can't wait to have Grover and Sharon back in the ballpark. Now the 2-strike pitch. Check swing. He went around. Just kind of a half give-up swing by Castellanos. 9 strikeouts for Indians pitching. Shaw gets his first. 1 down in the 8th. Indians up 5-3, and here's Jamer Candelario, the switch hitter with a 1-for-3 day, an RBI double in the first. He'll bat left-handed. Now, this has been a tremendous crowd here today. We haven't heard the attendance, but gosh, you look around, it looks like there's 30,000 here today. Far and away the biggest crowd in this series. And there was a late run on tickets today. The pitch. Swing and a foul at the plate, strike 1. And this is what you hoped would happen. I mean, this ball club deserves this support.
And if they win today,
now we've just been given the attendance, 29,346. So with comp tickets, there is over 30,000 in the park. The pitch, swing and a miss, cutter in on the hands of Candelario. And the count 0-2, and I think it's proof again. Day baseball works.
It's been tremendous, and I tell you what, if they win here, chance to break the record tomorrow night, look out. Get them early, folks.
Now the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, chopper to the mound. Shaw jumps up, gloves it, drops it, falls down, has no play. Wow. A high chopper to the mound. Shaw jumped up to grab it. Wanted to spin and throw to second, then lost his footing, lost the grip on the ball, fell backwards, and everybody is safe, and Shaw is charged with the Indians' second error of the day. So the Indians, the best defensive ball club in the American League, a rare day for the Indians with 2 errors. And now the Tigers have the go-ahead run at the plate in John Hicks, who's grounded out twice. The right-handed hitting catcher. So close to 30,000 in the ballpark today, trying to see the Indians make history and win their 21st consecutive game, which would be a new American League record. The pitch swung on, grounded wide of third, in the hole, diving stop from his knees. Urshela throws to second to get the out. What a play by Urshela! Almost halfway to second. Diving towards second, smothered that grounder from his knees, got the runner at second, and a standing ovation for Giovanni Urshela. Miguel Cabrera to third, John Hicks to first, and the second out, a force out at second. What a play. And here's Andrew Romine. Now, Giovanni Urshela may not have an equal in the American League from a defensive standpoint. 2 down. Romine batting left-handed takes low a ball. They're still on their feet at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario. The Indians leading the Tigers by a score of 5-3. 2 down, 2 on. The pitch, swing and a miss. Cutter almost hit his leg. 1-1 the count. Romine 1 for 3, had an RBI single in the 2-run 6th. Cabrera at third, Hicks at first. The pitch to Romine. Swung on, bounced to third, charged on a backhander. Urshela gloves, throws, got him! A one-man highlight show in the 8th. Well, for the Tigers now, it's all about the future. And a guy that could certainly have a mammoth impact on the Tigers' future is the left-hander Daniel Norris, who looked awfully good today in relief. Here's Edwin Encarnacion taking down low a ball. He did give up the home run to Roberto Perez, but boy, did Norris throw the ball well. In relief, he went 3 innings, gave up a run on 2 hits, struck out 3. Wilson's pitch, Encarnacion takes a strike, 1-1. Encarnacion 1 for 3, an RBI single in the 3rd when the Indians made it a 4-1 game. Tigers cut it to a one-run game in the 6th, and then Roberto Perez, the solo homer to center last inning to make it 5-3. The pitch, and it's a little wide, maybe a little down, 2-1. Jay Bruce, the 3-run homer in the 1st to left center, matching a career high with 34 homers. Edwin Encarnacion, the RBI single in the 3rd, and Roberto Perez, the solo blast to center in the 7th. That's the Indians' offense. Encarnacion fouling it off at the plate, 2-2. Tigers got a run in the 1st on the RBI double by Jeimer Candelario. They got 2 unearned runs in the 6th, an RBI double by Nick Castellanos, and an RBI single by Andrew Romine. 5-3 Indians, bottom of the 8th inning, the set and the pitch. Swung on, bang toward third, fair ball, playing deep and at the line with a backhand. Candelario throws over, and Encarnacion is out number 1. That'll bring up Jay Bruce. 1 for 2, but boy, was it a biggie. His 5th home run with the Indians, his 34th of the season, was a 3-run home run, just clearing the 19-foot wall in left center in the 1st. Candelario, the 3rd baseman, running to the right side of the infield. He'll become a rover in shallow right between the 1st and 2nd baseman. The shortstop, Iglesias, will come in a little bit and play midway between 2nd and 3rd. The outfield deep and a bit toward right. The pitch, Bruce takes, and it's a sinker away, ball 1. The Indians trying to reduce their magic number to 4 to clinch a division title and to set a new American League record and win their 21st consecutive game. The 1-0. High and wide, ball 2, 2-0. The Indians, during this incredible stretch, have been so dominant, they haven't had a walk-off win. They haven't had an extra inning win. They've only had 3 one-run wins. The pitch, swung on, fouled out of play to the left, 2-1. The Indians have pitched 7 shutouts during this winning streak. 6 times in the winning streak, the Indians have scored 10 runs or more. Wilson with a 2-1 pitch to Jay Bruce. Inside a ball, 3-1. The Indians' run differential during this winning streak, the Indians have outscored their opposition in the winning streak by 103 runs. Now the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, full count. the Indians' run differential in the winning streak is greater than 3/4 of the teams in the major leagues' run differential for the entire year. Now the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Wilson gets Jay Bruce. Tiger pitchers have struck out 11. And it's a credit to Brad Ausmus and this Tiger ball club that they have not come in here and just rolled over. When you're a veteran club that was expected to win and you're having a really rough year and you've traded away so many of your stars, they got pummeled 11-0 on Monday night, but they haven't quit. They have shown their true character the last 2 days. Carlos Santana takes a strike, and that's a credit to Brad Ausmus, his coaching staff, and these Tiger players. They have made it awfully tough on the Indians today and yesterday to try to make history, and that's the way it should be, but kudos to the Tigers. Santana takes outside, ball 1, 1-1. Santana 0 for 2 with a walk. He's batting left-handed. The overshift stays employed on the right side by the Tiger defense. Alex Wilson, the right-hander, comes set, hands held about chin high, delivers. A swing and a high drive! Deep center field! It is off the top of the wall! Ricochets back toward right center. Santana around second, heading for third. He is being waved home. Throw to the plate on one bounce. He's out by 15 feet. Well, why not an inside the park home run? They've had everything else. Give Carlos Santana a triple high off the wing to the Cleveland Clinic Indians Radio Network. Tom Hamilton, Jim Rosenhaus, and the best in the business, Stephanie Hagel and Brian Motze, keeping us along the Indians Radio Network all season long. Ninth inning, 5-3 Indians. Pinch hitter Tyler Collins facing Cody Allen. Curveball up high, ball 1. 30,000 on their feet at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario. The Indians 3 outs away from history. Cody Allen into the wind, the 1-0 to the pinch hitter. Beauty of a curveball, strike 2. Cody Allen, 26 saves, 2 wins, 6 losses, a 2.61 ERA, 61st appearance, 79 strikeouts in 58 innings. 5-3 Indians, the pitch to Collins, backs him off the plate, ball 2, 2-1. Brian Shaw, another scoreless inning. He allowed a hit, had a strikeout. Tyler Olson, 1/3 of a scoreless frame. Nick Goody worked 2 shutout innings. Mike Clevenger in line to win his 10th game if Cody Allen gets the job done again. The 2-1 pitch, swung on, fouled out of play to the left, 2-2. Mike Clevenger went 5 2/3. He gave up 3 runs, but only 1 was earned. Well, this crowd has been into it from the get-go. What a walk up here today, almost 30,000. Allen takes the deep breath, he kicks, he delivers. Swing and a foul back, we'll do it again at 2-2. Tyler Collins, much of the year in AAA Toledo. He's played medium deep and spread out in the Indians outfield. Collins, Iglesias, and Kinsler in the Tiger ninth as the Tigers try to stop history from occurring. Now the 2-2 pitch. Down and in, a curveball, full count. The American League record for most consecutive wins is now held by the Cleveland Indians and the 2002 Oakland A's. The Indians 3 outs away from setting a new American League record for a winning streak. The pitch, swing and a miss. Elevated the fastball and got Collins. 1 down in the 9th inning for Jose Iglesias. 0 for 2 with a walk. Most people will tell you the major league record for a winning streak is 21, set by the Chicago Cubs of 1935. For some reason, the 1916 New York Giants are getting credit for a 26-game winning streak that included a tie game. The pitch swung on and missed. Good curveball to Iglesias. How in the world that's the major league winning mark is a question most people have. But that's what we have to go by. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Chased another curve. Really what we're talking about with the New York Giants, 26 games without losing a game. But that's not a 26-game winning streak. Nonetheless, the Indians 2 strikes or potentially 2 outs away from a new American League winning mark. The wind and 0-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled upstairs, will do it again at 0-2. Terry Francona said today he loved last night's game, the intensity on both sides, a white knuckler, a playoff atmosphere. And he said we need those kind of games to get ready for October. They've got another one today. The 0-2 pitch, high, 1-2. Cody Allen works first base side of the rubber. Into the motion. Here it comes. A swing and a fly ball. Medium deep left. Drifting back Chisenhall. He squeezes it. 2 down. So the Tigers are down to their last out. 1 out away from making history are the 2017 Cleveland Indians. 5-3 Tribe. Ian Kinsler, the batter. 2 strikeouts. He's 0 for 4. Allen into the motion, the wind and the pitch. Swung on, ripped to left. Chisenhall coming on. Slides. He made the catch. Ball game. And mark it down, folks. History on September 13th of 2017. The Cleveland Indians have set a new American League record, winning their 21st consecutive ball game. The Indians stopped the Tigers 5-3. And a winning streak that began for the Indians on August 24th still has no end to it. 21 in a row by the Tribe, a new American League record, matching the Chicago Cubs' 21-game winning streak of 1935. And it ends appropriately with another terrific defensive play on the sliding catch in left field by Lonnie Chisenhall. And Mike Clevenger becomes the 4th Cleveland Indian in double digits for wins. Cody Allen marks up his 27th save, and the Indians keep marching on. Their magic number is 4. And these fans reveling at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario like it is an October afternoon in the postseason. 5-3, the Tribe wins. We'll be right back.
To run a faster mile, you use a stopwatch. To improve your dog's behavior, you use a trainer. How do you improve your financial skills? Use the Red Key. KeyBank helps you master your financial skills, giving you a way to track your financial wellness. The better your score, the better you're doing. All the way to thriving. Take your next step to financial wellness. KeyBank. Use the Red Key. Member FDIC, an official banking home of the Cleveland Indians.